Yep. All right, Coach, we'll just throw it to you for an opening statement.
All right. Looking to bounce back again after a tough loss to Ohio. I thought our players played hard, fought till the end, came up a few plays short. And, at the end of the day, we made too many mistakes in that game to win the game. And it was all three aspects of the game. Certainly on offense, the fumble, not converting a 4th and 1, not converting a 4th and 2. We dropped 3 touchdown passes. Defensively, we're just giving up too many big plays right now. We gave up 9 of them against Ohio, and they were all costly. And then on special teams, certainly the punt return and the fake punt, and you just can't make that many mistakes and expect to win a football game. So we were probably fortunate it was as close as it was at the end, and I think that's a credit to our players that they kept fighting hard, even though we didn't necessarily weren't playing well. So we need to learn from the mistakes, bounce back from them, and get ready to play an improved Kent team. Kent is, just watching the film, I think is very improved over the course of the season. They seem to be settled at quarterback now. Certainly losing Jarvis was a huge loss, but Terry has had 2 100-yard games. He's averaging almost 8 yards a carry. They have a true freshman receiver, Good, who has really stepped up and become an explosive playmaker for him. Defensively, they're a tough team to prepare for. They're very much a zone blitz-oriented team. They bring a lot of pressures. They bring linebackers, safeties, corners. And because of that, they have 40 tackles for losses on the season. So the challenge this game is to not get off schedule on offense, which is what Kent does so very well. So we're looking forward to get up there Saturday and try to get a MAC win.
Is there, outside of the Boise State game, the last 3 out of 4 games, have you noticed a trend? Is there a trend? All these close games, but all losses.
Well, we've played 5 games. We've won 1 against a good Troy team. We lost really in a blowout to a great Boise team, and there's been 3 games that we've lost by 7 points. And there hasn't been one formula in those games except that we've given up big plays on defense, and that was one. I mean, Missouri wore us down at the end with the run game, but it was really the 2 big plays at the end of the 3rd quarter and halfway through the 4th quarter that got us. The long run at Marshall was costly, and then we gave up a number of big plays on Saturday. So, I think offensively it's been a little different. Defensively, we try to get better stopping the run. After defending the run so well against Troy, we've really struggled defending the run the last 4 weeks. And because of that, we've got caught in some blitz looks and tried to do some things that have taken to take away the run that have left some open gaps and left us exposed to big plays. So, when you give up a big play, it's usually a result of a guy not in the right gap, and then you miss a tackle, and that's been a problem.
Are you a guy who thinks we're better than the record, or are you one of the in the camp of you are what you are?
You are what you are, but what goes into your record is a lot of different things. Certainly, we haven't executed as well as we need to at critical times. I mean, in the Marshall game and in the Ohio game, we're inside the 15-yard line with a minute left with a chance to tie the game. So it's not just a defensive issue. As well as we played on offense on Saturday, and as many yards as we had, there were some major breakdowns. And you can't drop 3 touchdown passes and expect to win a game against a good football team. Again, the overall execution, a lot of games you can execute well for 70 out of 80 plays, but if those 10 plays are 3 touchdown drops and 3 missed tackles, it doesn't matter how you played those other 70. So, we're a work in progress. We're getting better. And we want that to show up with a win, and that hasn't happened in the last 4 weeks.
Is there anything you can change schematically or your formations to prevent the big play?
In defense, you got to your defense is your defense. You go into the season, and we're very multiple. We have 2 down, 3 down, 4 down packages, but it's a matter of a guy not in the right gap and then a missed tackle. And sometimes it's a poor angle. Sometimes the guy's a little better and makes our guy miss. And we've got to reduce angles. And it's a little bit of a catch-22 because I don't know if we're in a position to play a lot of base defense. Just when you're undersized up front, you've got to do some movement to keep people honest. And yet sometimes when you work those movements, you expose yourself to a seam, and that's exactly what happened at Marshall with the long run. That's what happened for 2 of the long runs that we had Saturday. That in order to try to stop a 3rd and short, we try to create some penetration up front with a line movement, and a guy gets knocked out of the right gap, and now there's a seam and you miss a tackle. So I don't think that's a schematic thing. I think that's a matter of guys got to get off blocks and make open field tackles.
Do you have an injury report on your guys?
Yeah, we do. We're a little banged up right now. So I think we're up to 6 or 8 guys that we've lost now to season-ending injuries. So that's starting to take a toll.
Other than 3 receivers, who are some of the others that are out?
Well, DeMarc Jenkins is out
Right.
for the year. Winston Etheridge is out for the year. Freshman linebacker Eric Jordan is out for the year. We're not sure if we're going to have Ray Hudson or not. It's a number of guys. We'll find out a little bit more about Ray, but we may not have him this week, or we may not have him beyond that. And,
What specifically does he have?
He got banged up a little bit. He's had a rib problem, and
Okay.
he kind of stretched his knee a little bit, and we got to find out the severity of it.
Okay. And on the other 2 younger guys, Winston?
Winston Etheridge, who was defensive tackle, defensive end, and he had played a lot in the Troy game and a lot in the Missouri game, is now out for the year with an illness,
Okay.
and is probably done for his career here. And then freshman linebacker Eric Jordan hurt his knee early in camp, and he's been done. So we've taken, and again, that's part of football.
Right.
We just to lose as many receivers as we have is a little bit unusual. Half of those losses are at one position.
I didn't mean to just casually throw out other than the 3 receivers.
You go back and watch the film of the last play with Freddie and the ball hopping around there. How many times you watch it over and over again and think he's going to catch it?
I mean, Freddie makes that play routinely in practice every day. Just Tyler threw a good ball and Freddie dropped it. It's as simple as that. So, it is what it is. And if we're in that situation again, we'll probably go back to him. Right now, he's the best playmaker we have on offense. Him and Willie, and Willie was hurt for that play and kind of banged up in the second half. And I thought it was a good decision to try to get Freddie the ball. And the play was there. He was wide open, just didn't come up with it.